Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, hello and welcome. This is the first one of these great new little podcasts that I am putting together. Oh, goody goody. Good luck to you guys because I am going to have a lot of different inflections in my vocals because that's just the kind of guy that you got right now. But like they say, the hardest one to do is the first one. So here we are, doing that first one. I guess we should start with who I am, why you should be listening to me, and what's going on, and all that kind of good jazz. So we'll start with that. Who am I? I am Bear Shadow. You heard that right. Bear, Bear Shadow. Handlebar over here is called Shadow in Chaos. You can also find me on Twitter under the same handle, Shadow in Chaos. You can also find me on Instagram under Also Magic. Magic spelled with a K, not a C. I'm not pulling any rabbits out of hats here, guys. All right, enough of that. Also, what you would like to know is I am a huge advocate of women's wrestling and representation. So the whole movement that we're on, well, not movement, it is what it is now, So some things that we're going to be talking about on this channel is going to be wrestling. I wanted to give excuse me. I wanted to give a different take. I love it. I mean, that match. Who had that good match the other night? Nia fucking Jax and Naomi. That was a good match. That match cooked. I liked it. I liked it a lot. But yeah, it's chicken like that. So I'll also break off and show you guys some more stuff. I'll actually be on camera a couple of times so that you guys can see what I actually look like. I'm not just a voice. I'll also have guests. I'll pick other people's brains because why the fuck not? Do trivia. We'll do some ranking systems, some reviews. The reviews. That's what we're here for. So I'm going to start this off with the review of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. But I'm not going to be doing every freaking night of Raw or SmackDown, NXT, none of that. I will be doing all the PLEs, so check in for that. I'll be, first off doing predictions for it, and then I'll be doing the review of the show. So that's going to be pretty cool. With or without commentary, don't know exactly if I'm going to go live yet. We shall see how things progress. I will be with you guys to do the reviews, and the predictions portions of these videos will be for the Royal Rumble, and I look forward to having you guys back. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to tell you a little story on how I fell in love with professional wrestling. I believe my first introduction was when I was a kid. I'm talking 5, 6, 7. Anyways, 5, 6, 7 years old, and I remember being infatuated with the sight and the power and the majesty of the Ultimate Warrior. When he used to come out and it's the Warrior, he would just shake all of the fucking ropes and just gas himself all the way down that ring. It was magical. It was something I identified with. Loved the face paint, loved all the, the ooh. I was never a Hogan guy. You're never going to hear me say too many good things about Mr. Hogan. Hey, that's great if you like him. All that kind of good jazz. It's not even like the professional stuff, like with the, I'm just calling it what it is, what I see. Then, you grow up a little bit more, blah, 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 blah. And I really didn't start getting back into it until one night in the year 1997. I remember passing by the television my dad was watching, and I was getting ready to go to bed. School in the morning, Monday night. And I go by and I hear this god-awful voice just screaming, he's alive, he's alive. And I'm like, what? And so I turn and I look and I see who I later get to know as Paul Bearer, Percy Pringle. He's in his lead up to Kane debut. So I get to start watching right when the that whole saga of the Brothers of Destruction first gets kicked off. So that was my walking into. That's what caught my eye. That's what got this ass in the seat. That's what got me to go and park my little butt right next to my dad, and who's that? Who's that? And just in awe. So another piece of that, I do remember my dad had that cable box or that chip in the box. If you're from the hood, you know what I'm talking about. You get all them channels. So I lucked out and got all of the pay-per-views back then, PLEs now. I got them all. So not only that, but I also fell in love with wrestling, where we got to tell people to suck it and things of that nature, and really just express yourself. And I think that's what I fell in love with: the pageantry, the expression, the story. I'm a big horror buff, so you get these monsters coming out through the screen, these larger than life figures. One dude's throwing lightning bolts, and a fucking zombie just rising from the dead, and the other guy's just in a mask, doesn't speak, Michael Myers whole gimmick. And you get mankind in there, and you start seeing everything else. At the same time, D-Generation X was barely starting off, so it was still Shawn, Triple H, and Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and my girl Chyna. Big Chyna fan. If you don't respect the ninth wonder of the world, you don't know how the bitch drew. We'll get into that, but rest her soul. But that's when I started. And honestly, guys, it's been a religious affair ever since. I believe there was a few times that I stopped when, growing up, doing things, you get kind of sidetracked with other things. But I've always returned back to my wrestling. I've always returned back to my Monday Night Raws. And it's so fitting that I'm kicking this thing off at the dawn of a new era. We got Monday Night Raw on Netflix. If you don't know, I don't know how you couldn't, because those fucking advertisements are everywhere. Even people who don't watch wrestling, I'm sure, are being like, okay, I get it. Raw is on Netflix. WWE is Netflix. All right, so if you could just leave me a like, hit that subscribe, share, because that's the whole point of doing this, is to give myself a little safe place to speak my mind, talk my shit, and really connect with everybody else in the community. I find it a lot of fun that the community is so voiced now. I'm going to throw my voice in there too. There's plenty. We got about 6 hours of wrestling potentially coming up, and that's just main roster weekly. There's plenty for us all to talk about. So I am jumping in as well. Good luck following along. I hope you're in it for the long haul, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks. Bye. Awesome. Tonight on Netflix, guys, will be my first review for this channel, and I am looking forward to it. After that, I will see you guys at the Royal Rumble. Oh, my speech impediment came back.